There, she instructed, her voice tense with urgency. Look in the gardens, the storerooms, every room in the house. Find them. The servants scattered, calling out the twins' names, their voices echoing through the corridors and across the grounds. But there was no reply, no sign of Simi or Abu. The other servants checked the usual places, the kitchen, the garden, the market path, but found nothing. As the sun climbed higher, the unease turned to panic. Bukumi felt a dread settling in her chest. Where could they be? She muttered to herself, trying to remember the last time she saw them. Her mind raced with possibilities, each more frightening than the last. By the time the guests began to arrive for the ceremony, the whole household was in disarray. However, Bukumi told her servants not to tell anyone about the missing twins, not even the chiefs or their parents. She wanted to keep the secret within the household. As the day turned into evening and there was still no sign of Simi and Abu, Bukumi's worry turned to fear. She knew the twins wouldn't leave without telling her, especially not today. Something was wrong, very wrong. I've looked everywhere, Miss Bukumi, the head servant reported, his face drawn with concern. They're nowhere in the house or on the grounds. Bukumi's mind raced to the forbidden room. Had they? Would they? She pushed the thought away, too afraid of what it might mean. Bukumi, could they have gone to the village for something? One of the young servants suggested, trying to offer a benign explanation. Bukumi shook her head, feeling a chill. They would have told me, she said quietly, her gaze drifting towards the house, towards the room that no one was supposed to enter. The search continued into the night, lanterns flickering in the dark as servants and some willing guests combed every possible corner. But as the night deepened, hope dimmed. Bukumi stood by her window, looking out at the dark shapes of the search parties, feeling a deep, cold fear. She knew the village, her home, was full of secrets, and she dreaded that the twins might have stumbled upon one they shouldn't have. The house felt different that night, heavier, as if it too missed the presence of the loyal twins. Bukumi felt alone, truly alone for the first time since her parents' death, surrounded by whispers and shadows and the weight of a secret she did not fully understand. A few days passed since the disappearance of Simi and Abu, and the atmosphere in Bukumi's house had shifted from worry to a tense, uneasy silence. Each morning brought no news of the twins, and each night fell heavier than the last. The vibrant spirit that once filled the house seemed to have vanished along with them. Then, something strange and terrible began to unfold. It started subtly at first, a faint, unpleasant smell that seemed to drift through the corridors of the large house. At first, Bukumi thought it might be a spoiled piece of food or a problem with the waste bins. But as the hours passed, the smell grew stronger, more pungent, and unmistakably the scent of decay. Bukumi's heart sank as the smell permeated every room, becoming so overpowering that it was impossible to ignore. The servants whispered anxiously among themselves, their faces pinched with fear. "What is that awful smell?" they muttered, covering their noses with cloths as they moved through their chores. The house, once a place of warmth and laughter, now felt like a shadowed cave, filled with a looming, dreadful stench. Bukumi wandered through her home, her face drawn and pale, her thoughts racing. The scent seemed to seep out of the walls themselves, filling every corner with a sense of doom. By the evening of the third day, the smell had become unbearable. The servants barely spoke as they moved about, their eyes wide with fear. They knew such a smell could only mean one thing, and none dared to say it aloud. In the dead of night, Bukumi lay in her bed, the smell infiltrating her room, making her stomach churn. Sleep was impossible. Her mind was haunted by visions of what could cause such a stench. The forbidden room flashed in her mind, its door shut tight, its secrets locked inside. Could it be? Her heart pounded at the thought. The next morning, unable to bear it any longer, Bukumi called her most trusted female servant. "This can't go on," she said firmly, trying to mask her fear with resolve. "We need to find the source of this smell. It's unbearable."